Hello guys, welcome back to the Sportsman Untitled Extra, brought to you by Betfred, and I'm delighted that we're going to be talking about Wrexham versus Coventry as our big game on Friday night. Ben, it's a really interesting fixture, this one. Coventry flying high, unbeaten, but Halloween night, could they get a spook or a scare at Wrexham?
Well, you said before we started rolling, didn't you? It's like attack versus defence, because stylistically we've seen Coventry banging in the goals, making ridiculous amounts of chances. Half the top scorers all play for Coventry, and we've seen Wrexham kind of as we expected. You know better from the League One last season. Throw it back, happy to sit behind the ball, get it to the wing backs, cross it into the box, get runners in from midfield, don't get ahead of the ball. So that'll be an interesting matchup.
Absolutely. And Chris, for you, same sort of thing, isn't it? We know what to expect from Cov, a lot of attacking, hopefully a lot of goals, but especially against Watford on Saturday, defensively they've not looked completely solid, even though they've only conceded 9 goals this season.
Yeah, I think that it just depends on the quality of the opposition that you're up against and whether they can take those chances, and that's the Championship sort of summed up, I suppose, if you've got a good player in there. I think Wrexham obviously went out at the start of the season and spent some money to try and bought Windass in. Yeah. Was that this season or was it?
Yeah.
And I think that they've tried to. He's just come back from an injury. I think one of the big things for them is, you've mentioned them defending. Lewis Brunt got injured on Saturday, so that's
Callum Doyle suspended as well, I believe.
So there's changes for them to make. I think that there obviously is a lot for Wrexham on their plate. They've obviously got the cup game on Tuesday as well to take into account, so will they be tired by the time that they come up to the Friday night game?
We should touch on that, shouldn't we, because Wrexham do have Cardiff on Tuesday night in the Carabao Cup, last 16 first place in the quarterfinals, which would be amazing for them in a Championship club to get to that stage. It's a very quick turnaround for this game on Friday night though, isn't it?
Well, we're getting, I'm sure, I think I know where you're going. We're getting into what are the priorities for these two clubs right now, and if Wrexham are not only establishing themselves in the Championship, but maybe as a media entity, then I dare say a segment in their documentary with a last 8 game against Arsenal would go down well, and I'm sure Frank Lampard's going to hope that it's a big distraction for them. Coventry looks so focused, don't they, on you know, we've talked about the open door season and the one team that you mentioned momentum in the podcast we recorded earlier in the week. The one team that's kept momentum from last season and just kept on going is Coventry. Winning streaks have to come to an end, but would I be surprised if it went to 7? No.
6 wins in a row, you're right, and 2-3 game weeks, maximum points taken in
so hard
that week, so difficult.
But they're going away twice in this next 3 game week, which is tricky.
That is tricky indeed. For this one, it's difficult, isn't it, with Coventry, because producer Seb's put some stats up here for me. They're conceding an average of 3.3 shots on target per game. Last season, Trafford made an average of 2 saves per 90 for Burnley. Meslier, 1.7 saves per 90. He conceded 30. Burnley conceded just 16 goals. Coventry's defence has looked reasonably strong. Carl Rushworth's been very big for them in recent weeks. They're making some big saves. How sustainable is it, and I love that word, how sustainable is it that they continue this unbeaten run and keep winning games if they are giving up decent chances?
Well, I think the thing is about this weekend is that on Friday night you're going to go up against a team who probably don't have a lot of chances, but then they need the quality with those fewer chances, which they do make the most of.
Kiefer Moore's a massive threat all the time, though, isn't he?
Absolutely. So they are going to be. They're not going to be under relentless pressure, but there will be pressure there. Eventually, you've got to buckle, and if you give away opportunities, you will concede goals. I can see. So at the start of the season, Phil Parkinson, for me, was probably the wrong choice of manager for Wrexham. I would have sort of golden handshake, thanks very much, but we're going to move on. They've kept him in place at Wrexham. They're only a point behind us, and at one point at the weekend, Birmingham were the lowest placed promoted team from League One. So it's back in my face a little bit. They've what they've spent money on has reinforced the style of play that they're making to work with Wrexham. I think that you should be okay. you should be okay. You've probably got too much for their defence to handle. But yeah, you are going to be worked, not relentlessly, but you will be worked.
I think you're having to work quite hard to add jeopardy here. I think it's sustainable. I think you can really look at the game state against Watford and explain away. Coventry got the most clean sheets in the division.
Have we?
Yeah. And like I think we can circle your argument back on you about Trafford was class last year. It's okay to rely on a keeper at times if you've got a good keeper, and then up the other end they're doing bits. I think it is sustainable.
I'm very excited indeed. I want to talk about the narrative that you suggested about maybe the Cardiff game and the Cup run. We're recording on Monday, by the way, so we don't know the result of that. But there's also the narrative and the Disney narrative of Coventry unbeaten, Frank Lampard coming to town.
He's trying it again, look at him.
I can't just say we're going to go and win, can I? And there's also Ben Sheaf, who I think's out injured, or at least has the non-Coventry captain signing for Wrexham. What do Wrexham need to do in this game in particular to trouble Coventry?
Stick 3 men on Brandon Thomas Asante by the look of it.
Top scorer, what a turnaround he's had. He's been unbelievable in front of goal.
You were doing so well not making everything about Coventry in the podcast earlier in the week. What do Wrexham need to do? We know exactly what they're going to try and do, don't we? They're going to low block. I say low block it. They have had quite a high line at times. You mentioned the few chances. The chances they've got to make have got to fall on Kiefer Moore's head inside the 6-yard box, or to Josh Windass in transition 1v1 with a Coventry defender. But Coventry are going to make chances, aren't they?
It was a good point they got though, wasn't it? Away at Borough. I know, and then they were 1-0 up, and they could have won the game. Yeah. So it's not going to be a simple away win, this,
isn't it?
Set pieces as well. Set pieces and throw-ins. Throw-ins are essentially set pieces now, so that will also come into play. And
a very important point to be made actually is that Milan Van Eyck, who is Coventry's long throw specialist and has caused a lot of problems for teams, he's suspended for this game. Got a yellow card against Watford, and so Kane Kessler-Hayden will be playing at right back. But again, we've seen long throws be such a big part of the game this season. It's a big loss, isn't it?
But long throws should be seen as a corner or a free kick from that area. You've got to have someone that's able to launch it into the box, but as long as you can attack it the right way, there's no reason why they shouldn't be.
Should be absolutely fine. Right, should we go on to the score predictions then, Ben? You're itching to give me a score prediction for this one. What do you reckon?
Let's go 2-1 Cov, 7 in a row. You love that.
Narrow win. Thought you go a bit bigger than that, to be honest.
No, I'm winding you up.
What about you, Chris?
I mean, everything's set up for the Cov win the way that you've played all season. For me, I'm going to go for the Hollywood moment.
Don't do it.
1-0 Wrexham.
Wow.
The end of the unbeaten run, Wrexham, you reckon, be the team to end the start?
1-0 Wrexham. Maybe Dobson.
I don't know. Interesting you've said Cov won't score, which is something that's quite...
They just defend so well. Not so well, but they defend. They focus so much of their game on defending that's where I could see them clinging on.
It's 12-1 on Betfred, by the way, for a 1-0 Wrexham win, and 7-1 for your 2-1. Did you say Cov win?
Yep.
I've been pretty calm, I think, during this episode. So
with a lot of poking from me as well, to be fair. So well done.
So it's only right that I predict Wrexham 1. Cov 4.
Tremendous.
We score a lot of goals. I think Wrexham's absentees are going to...
Rushworth man of the match, yeah?
Yeah, he probably make about 10 saves. 28-1, by the way, for 4-1 Cov.
That's arguably more realistic than my 1-0 Wrexham as well. But
I think we've got a lot going forward.
Not according to Betfred, it's not.
Score a lot of goals. Yeah, exactly. I just think that Wrexham will struggle to deal with the attack, and I think they will score, clean sheets. I can't believe we've got the most clean sheets in the league. That's really caught me by surprise, that, but maybe I'm being a bit harsh. Yeah, I think I really don't want the unbeaten run to come to an end, so I'm going to have to back it to keep going. Thank you very much for joining me, both of you. You can catch our next show on Monday, The Sportsman Untitled, in full, where we will review the Wrexham Coventry game and a few of the other key games. Make sure you get your score predictions in the comments down below. Like and subscribe while you're down there, and we'll see you on Monday.